was yours? Is Owen not here today?
Yes.
Oh.
Can I go ask Miss Stewart a question?
Huh?
Can I go ask Miss Stewart a question?
Yeah.
I'll be back with the numbers.
I'm not stressing. Like, I'm not stressed. I'm past the point of stress. You had to put man bun in. You don't have the man bun. Yeah, that's all we're
So you said it,
Townsend. I saw on my grade viewer that I have to put in a 0 for number 97, even though I'm pretty sure I turned it in.
We'll double check it.
Thank you.
I just wanted to let you know Faye might be slightly late. She's on crutches.
Who?
Faye.
Okay. Did you beat her up or something?
No.
All right, good morning, guys. I need y'all to check and make sure that you turned in 102. And both of the handouts we'll look at today are things that you already have in your binder, 95 and 103. So you need to find those. All right, so while you guys are finding the 95 and 103 in your binder, let me remind you, since our last test has been pretty quick here, but we talked about slope fields, which will be on your next test. We talked about the exponential growth and exponential decay questions. Those will be on your next test. But the bulk of our time has been on separation of variables, which we have practiced quite a bit of at this point, but it's a good chance that's probably still the thing that you need to practice more before the test. So in 95, that was the handout where I gave you all 6 of the 2022 FRQs. And we did 2 of them before your last test because they matched up pretty well to that, and I thought it would be kind of 2 for 1 where it would be helpful and you get some FRQ practice in. And so similarly, I would like us to do FRQ 5 today. So, like we've done before, I want you to put in a real effort to see how you do and see how you actually score without any more preparation. So, just to be clear here, I'm talking about this one. FRQ 5, the one that looks like this. So again, it's good FRQ practice, which we are going to do a lot of as we get closer to your AP exam. But you're going to notice that most of these questions on this FRQ are relevant to the current unit that we're in. So it gives you some practice and it gives you some feedback on like how it's often asked on the AP exam. Okay, does anybody have any questions about what we're doing before I start a 15-minute timer and letting you give it a shot? Okay, this is no calculator, and again, I'm not going to grade it for accuracy, but I would like you to do it in pencil, please. And then when we look at the scoring guide and talk about the answers, you can do corrections in a different color, or I expect you to do corrections in different colors. But go ahead and start. Again, I'm giving you 15 minutes because 15 minutes is the average amount of time you get on your real AP exam. When you get 2 calculator FRQs, you get 30 minutes. And when you get the 4 no calculator, you get 60 minutes. So it's not that you couldn't spend longer on this one, but 15 minutes is average, so 15 minutes is what I'm giving you. So give it your best shot, then I will tell you what the average score was on this one that year, and we'll look at the scoring and give you guys a chance to ask questions if you feel like you need to. And again, just do the best you can. Don't look at your notes or help each other. It's just some feedback for you. It's good to see where you stand.
Johnson, could you like not mark me tardy? I had a hard time.
We are doing the FRQ packet that I gave to you a couple weeks ago. We're doing FRQ number 5 because it has to do with topics from this unit. And I set a 15-minute timer for them so they could see the pace. They're about 2.5 minutes into it right now. down to 10 more minutes.
That'd be a weird question.
Let me go ahead and first start off by telling you the average for this one. I think this one had the highest average that year. Actually, never mind, but it was close. This one had an average score of 3.11 out of 9. So anything better than that is good. But again, we're aiming for growth here. So even if you end up with 6 out of the 9, we'll look at the scoring in a second. You still want to try to find 1 or 2 points that would not take too much work for you to get the next time. All right, so again, when I collect this for points, I will expect to see your corrections and notes to yourself in a different color. If you don't have a different colored pencil or marker or anything like that, I've got red pens, purple pens, blue pens, colored pencils. You're welcome to borrow one of mine. Just put it back when you're done, please. And again, that's twofold. It's one, for you to be able to look back at this and remember what you missed or didn't think about. And 2, when I collect it, I can look for common themes and try to give you guys practice that's more appropriate before your AP exam. I don't want to waste your time on things that most everybody's getting, and if something's important and a lot of people are missing it, then I want to try to know to give you more practice. Okay, part A was a slope-filled question, and so you got 1 point if your solution curve looks like this or close to it. In the scoring notes, you can see it says extends reasonably close to the left and right edges with no obvious conflicts, so they scored that pretty fairly. If your parabola is a little tighter or a little bit looser there, this part, they would still be fine. But it has to go to that point, and it has to have this general shape. And it needs to go from the far left to the far right. It doesn't just magically stop in the middle of the graph. Okay, so 1 point. Again, put a +1 next to it so you remember how that was scored and if you got it. Or in the other color, draw what it should have been. Okay, for part B, this one isn't necessarily in this unit, but it's something we've talked about. So they gave 1 point if you made a tangent line equation. So here would be one form of it. I probably would have the -2 on the other side instead of over there. But if you have something equivalent to this for your tangent line equation, you get a point. And if you estimate f of 0.8 to be 1.7, you got a point. Yeah.
What if I got like 1.65?
Nope. It has to be accurate within 3 decimals. Yeah.
What if I put the number as a fraction? I put 17 over 10.
Yeah, that's equivalent, so that's fine. Even if you had 1 plus 0.7, that's fine. You don't have to simplify any arithmetic in FRQ. So I know you can do both of these things, but we haven't talked about equation of a tangent line in a while, so you probably felt a little rusty there. But that could potentially be, if you miss that point, especially the first point, could potentially be a point that you could get reasonably easy the next time. Okay, part C is only 1 point. So your answer had to be that it was an underestimate, but you also had to have a correct reason. The reason must include that the second derivative was positive, or that it's concave up, or that the first derivative was increasing. You have to refer to one of those three things for your reasoning. If this one's hard for you to visualize, if you sketch what you did in part B, the fact that this is concave up, you see that your point's below where it's really supposed to be. It's a little easier for you to see. Okay, so just 1 point there. Then part D, which is super important. Now, I'll be honest with you. Part A, this doesn't get asked every year. Obviously, I think you should be happy if it gets asked because that's one of the easier things we do. Part B and Part C, these get asked every year in some form, sometimes only as multiple choice, sometimes on as FRQ. But the last 3 or 4 years, solving a differential equation by separation of variables has been part of an FRQ, which at first, I would think you would probably not be happy about that because these are longer, more difficult questions. But they also assign 5 to 6 of the points usually. Yeah, this one had 5 points. And they're pretty, some of the points are not that hard to get, especially when the average was only 3.1. So you can award yourself 1 point if you separated the variables correctly. You can get 1 point if you did the antiderivative of the left side correctly, and a 3rd point if you did the antiderivative of the right side correctly. You can get a 4th point if you remembered plus C and you solved for it correctly. C was supposed to be 6. And then for the very last point, you have to figure out what y equals or something that's equivalent to that. So the last point is by far the hardest to come up with, but even if you've struggled to get the final answer correct, if you got 4 out of the 5, you're already above average just on this one part of the FRQ for the scoring of the whole thing. Now, I kind of glanced through this pretty quickly. I know I didn't leave any of this up very long, so if there was something that you needed more corrections to, like if you made a mistake here, you probably can't glance at this quite that quickly. But you have access to this because, again, at the top, here's the scoring guide. That's the same link that I went to. You just have to scroll down to FRQ5. So if you need to see more specific, you want to analyze the scoring guide a little bit more in depth than I left it up here, then please do. And remember, there's hundreds if not thousands of videos of each of these worked out. I just picked out one that I thought looked good that was not me. So if there was part of this FRQ you would like to hear the explanation to, feel free to go to that video and watch the part that you need to watch. So out of as an average of 3.1, hopefully you feel like you could at least get that at this point. But no matter how good or bad you did, the most important thing is find 1, 2, or 3 points that you think that you could get next time. Not the hardest 1, 2, 3 points, but what would be the easiest stuff that you should have gotten that you didn't think about, you didn't do enough work on, you moved too quickly on, you finished with extra time and you didn't keep going. Whatever it takes to get the next 1 or 2 or 3 points. Those adding up is what will make a big difference to you. Okay, So, just for my feedback, again, I will pick that up at some point to look at, so I have more information, but I'd like a general idea of how y'all did, so if you'd leave that out. But I'm giving you the rest of time to work through your test review. I gave you that last class, and I suggested that you start on it. But I really didn't give you much class time to do that. So, this unit, slope fields, exponential growth decay, and separation of variable. 3 main topics. But you've seen all that you need to see, so whatever does not go smoothly for you on the test review should be your red flag of what you need to focus and study on. Now, our test is not until this time next week. So I will continue to give us some more practice Wednesday and Friday, but this will be about all the time I give you for the test review. So I'm giving you almost a whole class period to work on that and get your help on it. So.
It's only halfway filled out though.
So,
How does it work?
roll it. Is it blank?
Yeah.
Can you see the bottom? There you go.
So it just gives you 2 chances to get the same number?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Why?
Then
I
just,
mean, you could also draw dots on there if you wanted it to be more.
then just get a 1/3 one, you know?
You could.
What about this one? What's the explanation for this one?
You just
Huh?
got like 2
What is it?
It's blank all throughout.
Okay, but you can write your own on there.
Weird.
I like this one.
Oh, it's colored.
It's got shapes.
I love that too, yeah. Is it Mario? Oh no, that's presidents. And Marcus, what is that? Yeah, I know that before.
I don't know.
You should put your little Goomba inside of it, so he's trapped.
I don't
And then
think
if you
he'll
roll a
fit.
Goomba, then
You're out of the game.
Well, I've never used those once, so. How's that part you doing?
Better than the last one, so.
I'm guessing most of the points were on the last part. After that,
Yeah, that's what I got minutes to. I was so close to the last point because when I moved the square root over, instead of squaring, I just square rooted the other side. So I had everything up until that square root.
Did you finish with extra time?
I did finish with extra time, but I didn't notice it. I looked back at some of my other ones first. I just didn't realize I messed that up.
I think we've been dealing with me with it, so I forgot how to find number 3.
Well, you gotta get the answer to part of each first. Also, you need to do that later. Right now, you need to be working on the test review.
Where's the short unit?
How does FRQ go? You'll find some 1 or 2 that you can get next time. Yeah, it's not too much more work. Well, why are you stuck?
I don't know, I just didn't keep going.
Okay.
I mean, this, I thought this was one every day.
Okay.
And then for just putting 10 minutes and all my time. So then I'm just gonna go back and watch the video.
It's good for you to see that now. I think that you'll think this one's the easier one.
You did draw this really good.
There's a deck points if you do that on your.
Really?
But if it's like really good,
They're grading thousands of pages a day.
I've really been stuck in this.
Right, 8 hours a day for like a week. Yeah, paper after paper. Same FRQ every single time.
Because you want people that did something that
The teachers like to do it because you get paid for it.
You guys would be really mean. But you could always just.
I want to say it's like maybe 42,000, which sounds good, but that's only before taxes. And it's usually out of state. They might get you a hotel room, but then if you want to go to dinner somewhere different, or like, you're going to spend some of your money while you're there.
You could just make money a different way.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying you don't have to go to that.
On the FQ go. 6? And you came in like.
That's what I'm thinking.
Good, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, right. You guys are
I don't know what that means.
valid.
Because I was thinking like,
It's sad.
this equals 0. Yeah.
Pressure.
So find like the points of, where the slope is.
Oh my god.
Oh, I did?
Sorry about that. So usually the first 3 are guaranteed for state.
Because that's a negative.
So I think it's not official yet.
Well, it's like,
Oh, yeah, never mind. Sorry, I don't know that wrong.
did you see Squad?
I can look up how many you got wrong, but I don't want to know which ones they were.
I still have the taste.
Oh, actually, the test, I added that to the
Right in
website.
front of you.
You know where I have the practice?
Oh, you got the answers.
Yeah, so they include the answers to the back page. So you could also just, you're gonna wanna see which one's your mistake. So you can just check them out.
Yeah,
Well, right here, you're gonna have to factor out a
below the
GCF.
line a little bit.
And then you can
like
divide that
right
by
up here and then right down there when everyone was. Not 6.
GCF of X. Really? And then you can divide the X over and there's no more X.
Well, this is, yeah, this is, so if I, so it'd be like, so it's square. Divide the X over.
Well, actually, you want the Y to be on the left, not wrong. You want to divide the X squared over, multiply the DX over, and divide both sides by 5.
It's just all fair.
If I remember right, that was the.
So divide the 3x squared over.
What's the other
What's that?
Oh, I really.
Just on a
You have to take it as well as the That's the only way you're gonna get those X's on. Have the FRQ done.
So it could go.
I messed up. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is enough. This, so I think it just goes.
Let's just separate the variables. Separate the variable and the variable side.
No, I was like,
Okay, you want part A is wrong. Find it, Subtract all the points and okay, well this represents
Okay, so we just have to do
so you're trying to figure out when that's part. So X squared, 1 minus y. You want to know when this is positive. Okay, when is x squared positive? Always, because anything squared is positive. As long as the x is not 0. Okay, when is this positive? Less than or greater than? I mean, you have to think about derivative as slope, and then it's at positive.
Today's the first one that I thought was gonna. Yeah, I was confused. So I didn't feel like trusting. Well, my schedule is I do that on the weekend because I have to do that in the I was crying for hours last night when I was writing Oh, for the response I wrote it instead of the
I'm working hard
Oh, no, that's not how that works. Natural number works if it's 1 over a variable to reverse pattern. Like 1 over x. Or 1 over x plus 5.
I didn't know that either.
No, because it's over square root. You can rewrite this. And I do power.
Is that always been there?
Okay, you do this here.
Minus what?
This and this guy. Put up at the end of last year.
What? What are you looking at? That one. Wait, that one wasn't in there. Yo, I feel like somebody in I don't know.
What have you got there? Mathematically, if you really wanted to get that right, the only way that you undo a cosine is to do inverse cosine squared. You get y. And then you would have inverse cosine of this stuff as well. And then you would have to replace that. I didn't make up the questions. It's just something from my college textbook or something.
That's good.
I'm fine with myself. You don't have to worry about doing the inverse.
I was thinking 0 over the extra 25, so it's not no problem. Plus it equals x over y squared. I just think quotient. You did derivative of x over y squared.
Yeah, you should make that.
That's y squared times 2x y is y. And that would be the second root.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if it's an effort to do things in white,
When you're doing
unless
the
if it's multiple choice, it's going to be clearly this stuff.
taking the derivative of
Yeah, you should always make one square. I don't know why. How did the application?
take the derivative of y squared.
This is
Only 1, 2, y prime. 2y, y prime. Because when you change y squared, when you take the derivative of y in terms of x, y prime.
Hey, no.
2xy, y
If it's just arithmetic for me, that's where I said, like, you can leave an answer with y plus 3 because you only real count. But if it's like f of 1 and you don't change that to what it's equal to, or f prime of 7 and you don't change what that's equal to, then that's not. Did you understand why this
was an underestimate? Did you look at that much yet? Yeah, so do you see why it's concave up? Oh wait, I tell you this.
So if it's concave up,
I'm just not gonna do that.
it's concave up and it's distributed, so it's going to be like this.
So your tangent line is gonna look something like that. So your point is lower than the real point. Because you know the function is curving up, so your estimate from the tangent line is gonna be below.
Yeah, why you face negative so like the stuff all about. Yeah. I'm just not.
Wait, it's not on this one.
5. That's number 1.
Oh, okay.
It's absolute.
No, but we have to take away the.
Yes, sir.
So we have to
It's only because I partially remember the separating directly.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen it.
Well, that's okay too. I mean, you figure out that you gotta work faster if you wanna get to all of it, so. It's a trade-off. What would be the easiest point that you have? That you could get next time? Oh, it is running on time.
No, it's because it's so cute.
And you get D right?
Yeah.
Okay, did you get D right?
So, yeah.
No, it'd be a little.
Okay.
That's
So,
so
right,
Is that your
remember
actual
point those coming up?
1 minus 1 was x minus x1. Yeah.
How many
X1
calculus?
and Y now. I would put that over here, Y minus Y. Okay, put it in.
Okay, so 1 minus 2.
How do you know it's 3 and a
That's what.
It's a brand
half? You
name.
know the point X and Y, right? The derivative tells you slope. So if you plug that X and that Y in here, that's where how you get that slope. So there could be a point.
So just.
Derivative is slope. So when you slope, you go use your derivative. Also, you can kind of look at this. 2 lines, right?
I guess so.
I was just gonna circle.
Yeah. But it sounds like it would be hard to plug in. Like it would be hard to plug in.
This is the nicest
Right.
person.
If you plug 2 in for Y,
You just can't read
times a half, so there's 3 halves. And then you plug in 1 for X. Yeah, that's so half times 1 times 3. 3 halves. So it's not that bad. You're not gonna make something like but you have to remember what stuff you need.
I'll just be
It's like you divide it.
Well, my study schedule says that I need.
Okay, so let's.
Okay, have you done your test review first? Do your test review first. The schedule is right here. What schedule are you
You
on?
can't do this. Can I show you?
That, okay, I got you, but if that is not done because you haven't been here or something, that's makeup.
No, this is extra.
And then put your.
You've already done that. You already done it. Okay, so you're just going to get extra practice on that. Okay, that's fine. As long as you still do the test. A couple of those are weird. They don't necessarily go and solve the white
Yeah, no, I just studied by myself.
solution, but you'll know. Right. Big C is first. Four is probably the hardest one.
No, I think people want to do.
You would. You're just.
So it's. I don't even know how to do So it's. I knew. Well, I knew it was going to be a different hospital. She agreed. Oh, wait.
So 0.
We haven't taken the second. Wait, we haven't taken some. Oh, that's. Y'all, I know this so bad.
I don't know. I hate it, but. Wait. So,
See, that's why you confused yourself, because you, when you brought this all down, one minus one, you didn't make it. So, but reality, you just multiply that over here.
We don't have to do separation for everything.
Then you go plus one.
My favorite picture. How was it? How did she?
yeah, that's weird. Something really.
So I multiply this over.
Questions right down. Because I want to know what senior took about.
They get first place.
She got second.
Yeah, I'll let that.
I didn't stick over here.
So there was one person who got third place with 21 right. So their tiebreaker must have been a little bit better.
I didn't do any of this.
Yeah. So they probably put down something for tiebreaker 1 would be my guess. Sydney got second with 22 right. And then the Rogers person who got first had 23 right.
Okay.
They want you to find the second one. So they want you to take one ribbon like that. So that's from last semester. The quotient rule, chain rule.
separate my plus.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep driving behind me. I thought you were following home, and then I realized that you were.
Oh wait, I don't know. I felt like old style guilty. Like, I think it's great.
Yeah, I bet you.
Well, like I saw somebody from school, I saw you, that's why she's telling me.
Yeah, she does look good. Okay, wait, I don't know. I don't. It's just findings. Yeah.
Push.
Yeah, where did you get my free apps?
Yeah, I'm still not even on.
Okay, you guys still have about 45 minutes, still a lot of time. Let me know as I come around if y'all have a question from the test review you want me to look at. Yeah, just step out in the hallway.
No, I made you realize it's not just yeah, so I'm
Done? got all your studying in? You wanna take the test right now?
I feel like
Do the AP test right now too?
I don't know about that, but.
Wait, these are breakfast questions.
Critical numbers and concavity points of inflections and everything we've done. I don't think there's 23 and me or whatever it is.
You don't know about your parents?
I mean, my parents look white, but I don't know.
She's a son.
I cremate, that's what.
I feel like you might be a little bit Irish, just by your demeanor.
What is an Irish name?
Very leprechaun, just very like,
Have you tried the Shamrock Shake? Have you tried the Shamrock Shake from McDonald's?
you're gonna get sick, don't try that, oh my god.
Did you like it? Was it in your blood to like get another one?
It's just offensive to Irish people.
You did like it. You're Irish.
But it was also like 3,000 calories or something like.
It's something like that. It's crazy.
Did you really hear what I just said?
So I was running 9 points. Every point on the slide. Describe where it would be negative. Okay, so what do we know about yourself? How do you know?
I mean, if I think about it, then I'm like saying 100% didn't happen.
So what's positive, you want to know when the drill is. So when is that one?
Just blow really hard.
When is that one?
I spent the entire time I was working on it, I was just working on it.
I wasn't giving you a turtle. What is wrong?
When it's not 0, right?
What is wrong?
Okay, so it's supposed to be 0.
I've been going slow. I keep zoning out all the time. Listening to music.
I got negative 112.
You remind me of Danny Gonzalez. You know that
They might be equivalents of each other in some weird way. Basically, well, how would you look at 5'6"?
Actually, no, you're right.
Because if you both got 5'6", then it would
I
probably.
think it might be a little
It's like
bit
a
of
rip off
X
of
can't be
the
zero because let's say if I took those absolute values away,
X can't
that would become 9x, wait, 3x squared. Times 3.
That still doesn't work. I don't know how in the world you guys even got the same C.
Well, no, did we get the same C? Was your C?
It's 5 over 6 essentially.
That's not why it was C.
Wait, hold on.
Oh yeah, no, for C I got negative natural one.
Well, it's like I did C earlier. I did see like
Mathematically, the only way to see blue is on both sides like that.
Oh my god!
On both sides, and then the other two. No, no. Okay, after I integrate the inverse cosine, natural log I have to see the log top on both sides.
Watch that video when
The
you're
inverse cosine and then divide it. I got it.
But you don't need to worry about that stuff.
It's turning red.
That's why it's not.
Yeah, because you should have the negative 1/6 natural values, right? Minus 6 and 1/3. Did the integral, if you like did use substitution, but the integrals you would have gotten that you needed.
I think I messed up, like, back here.
Without those, the chain reactions.
Yeah. So see how dy is in the top left? Here's your dy.
That's
Y minus 1 is in the top right. So algebraically, it can't be in the top left also.
I know.
Move it to the left side, you have to divide that by 1 minus y. If it's 1 over y minus 1, it's going to integrate it. It's going to integrate with natural log.
So is that raising?
That's as far as you need to go. Mathematically, you can move the inverse cosine on both sides, and that would leave you 2y equals inverse cosine of that.
I'm like checking how it's saying.
But someday in college,
Over 2
well, the way you do the cosine, it would make the other side messier, but the other side's already messy, so. I thought it was going. Okay. Should it be my mustache or my hat?
Your hat, your hat. I wish I had like a little bitty like.
I look less like a No, I didn't know that this picture was going to be on my ID forever. When they took it.
It's like this.
Is that supposed to be you sub for this?
Mr. Chen,
Yes.
could I, grab your attention? Can I take a picture of that real quick?
Why?
Just so I have it.
It's online. The whole, I don't have, this is just the front of it.
Oh, that's okay.
This is where I reworked it this year, just for the purpose.
Cool, thank you. Are we right back here? Right back here?
What does this mean?
It's second derivative.
Okay, you got the first derivative.
Yeah.
Go on second derivative.
Yeah.
Take the derivative of that. That has nothing, it has to do with last semester. It's a review question. I think this was a real AP question, that's why it's got some stuff from this semester next semester.
So is it raise the power about the
Derivative at the top times the bottom left and one more minus the derivative at the bottom left and top left and one all over
minus what? Minus x 2y.
You just took the derivative of y with respect to x, so you need a y prime also.
Of x 2y right now.
Good one. Unless you don't show.
Y prime is right here. This is y prime. And their intersect derivative.
Oh, so I don't need to do anything else.
I mean, it's a multiple choice, they would probably simplify that a little bit, but.
So that this is the if you don't watch on
But you will need to remember the quotient, so that will be on there.
What if I don't do the AP thing?
Well, it's still good for you.
Cool.
Some days you may decide to do calculus somehow. And that is going to be all the stuff that we do in here. A lot of what we do in here, we should. Actually, they care more about that stuff. Just look at your notes. If you look for it, you will miss what you want. No, you're gonna have to go to the shower to remember.
Well, when you said that, I remember that. I have a separate folder for my semester. Mine isn't all last semester.
Where do you have it?
Like, I do your floorboards, your carpet,
I've done that.
In case you spill something, you got your math paper and something.
I did the first one. Well, I did the first one. Extra question answers.
Good idea.
Depression.
And then it would be not the one like be negative 3x.
Okay. Would you be upset if you couldn't get your money for some separation?
Back or red? Or something like that?
I see.
Okay. Say, but it's a red. Why is there a sash?
That used to teach here wanted to dress up for Spirit Week or and so she made that for me so that I had to be part of the picture.
You were Russell?
And she was the grandpa. So she made that so that like
I would kill to see it
it's probably out there somewhere.
on Facebook.
I don't know if you ever found it. She didn't teach you.
You never told me who you got that photo from.
What?
So then pick one, and then you find a matching
That
photo.
takes too long. You see the course of time.
Or when you're talking to your bride, you just pay her out a goodie ball with one.
Oh, this is supposed to be down a little bit more. X2.
Or you can just start doing that slowly, you know, but at one barrel. By the time we're there, you are always one. Okay, well, you're gonna move, so I'm just gonna see all your thoughts and.
What are you saying? No, I'm actually talking about.
This one, you're probably over here.
No, you want to know. I'm trying to defend myself.
Five, X,
That was really touching. That was really good.
Yeah, but if you divide it right side by right, everything has to be divided by that, not just this, but also this. It's all or none.
You're way off. Oh, okay. Now this person walks in, I'll be
You're gonna say the same thing.
So why would you divide 8 by 5?
So I can just use X squared over here.
See, we already did that.
I can move the X over here. Well, the concepts you can move if you want to, whatever you want. But the only way you're gonna get this fixed is when you look at this, there's a DCF. You guys are at
Plus C.
and then you can divide those up by that. Tell me what you mean by take the white.
Like this.
Okay, so divide both sides by what? Divide by y, divide by y. Yeah. You can't just divide part of the right side by y. That's what I was saying, it's all in there. You need to factor out the x's of DCF. You're also going to have to factor out an
I was
x
calling
of
James.
DCF on the last question.
He was like, fine,
Well, we're talking about new stuff in here. I just add something new in here and you lost it.
yeah, he only likes one.
It's on that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the boy?
It's not just like
I couldn't think of it. I was trying to get them. I know who it is. I was trying to get both of you in the face.
it's like
That's the way it's
And it also, like, it doesn't have an ice. It's just
Phillips.
I just said it. They're what? Some kind of water. Oh, you're a water. Well, also depends on the moon and your rising. What's your moon? And your rising. Is that and your moons? And Mars. So now we actually okay, what has your... Of course you are. He's definitely like... Why is there Are they all aggressive?
But wait, should we solve for the silver? Maybe that's what it's. Let's take this.
I couldn't tell what he was actually.
Wait, question here. The three in the front of the you can go up. So we
I'm trying not to be I think we both.
Hey, is it a natural log minus natural log with division?
It's the same thing. Yeah, you can do that.
He just holds his eye. Don't let him put up
Oh, this is easy, Mr. Townsend. How are people so bad at this?
Same reason you're bad at it?
I'm getting 2,000 or 5,000 every time.
Yeah, you're supposed to start at the other end.
Nobody said that. Hey, I'm already at 250. Now I'm at 0. Finish my review, Mr. Townsend.
It's good. But to be finished with it, you gotta study it.
Oh, well.
And
That's cheating. Oh, you kidding? I gotta give him some momentum.
I have a question. So, here, why do you divide by pi in between this stuff and stuff?
Well, the derivative of sine something would be cosine something, right? But because of chain rule, it's going to multiply in a pi that I don't want to be there. So by dividing by pi, it cancels that out.
It's going to put a pi in the...
Yeah, if you take the derivative of just this, you would get cosine pi x times pi because of chain rule. But there's no pi here. So to cancel it out, you need to divide by pi.
Is that like a u sub thing?
Or you could do u sub, yeah.
Here.
U sub would do that for you, so you wouldn't have to think about it.
I need a...
I just saw that it was just one step, so I thought it was easier to not do U sub, but
Okay.
yes, that is what U sub does. Yeah.
Do I need to add anything else to this?
Yes. This part of your derivative is wrong.
This?
You took you left the numerator alone, x, times the derivative of the denominator, 2y, but you just took the derivative of y with respect to x, so you need a y prime there too.
Oh. Oh, that's like the one thing we're doing. Where that? Okay, that's from the previous unit.
Yeah, that's from last semester. Yeah, anytime you take the derivative of something with respect to something else, you need that variable prime. So you need a y prime here, which is the same as this. So you can plug that stuff in place of y prime.
Okay, got it.
guys are down to about 5 minutes here. So if you did not finish up the review and or get your questions answered, you need to add that to your homework list, I guess. Again, your test is not next class, but this should be one of the easier. I know separation of variables is not easy, but overall the number of content things in this unit is one of the easier of the year. So make sure you don't miss out on that opportunity. Also, just some heads up, so we will have this test on Monday of next week, and then that will leave us Wednesday. We will do one more skill before spring break. When we come back from spring break, we'll have 3 or 4 more new skills, and then everything after that will be all AP review. So y'all are close to have seen in everything that will show up on your AP exam, but a couple of them, one will get in before spring break, and a couple we won't get in until after spring break. But that's the plan.